As I've said to you yesterday, I'm not being guilt-tripped anymore. I don't really care. I'm not bothered. Make your own minds up. I'm not here to influence yours. You make your own minds up. I'm not being guilt-tripped. The club's on its arse. I've never known it so bad, and I can't see a way out. So, unfortunately, that means I'm going to be very vocal every opportunity I get about the problems within this football club. And it seems to me that we're looking at players now who are doing what I'm surprised they haven't done already, to be fair. Starting to question the manager. We saw Mazraoui after the game on Thursday night, and I think it got missed in the result. He was asked a question about football being frustrating, and he said, yeah, it's more than sometimes though, isn't it? Because the question was, sometimes football is frustrating, and he said, yeah, it's more than sometimes now though, isn't it? And ultimately, I think the players are frustrated. Some of these players are top-level professionals. De Ligt's, Mazraoui's, Cunha's, Mbeumo's, even Bruno Fernandes. They're top-level players playing for a football club that's, an embarrassment. And I think, we're probably not far off that point. I mean, look, you hear rumours. I'm not here to discuss rumours. But I thought the Mazraoui comment was very clear. I thought the way the players behaved after the game was very clear. I think the way they've performed over the last few games has been very clear. They know the game, they've played the game, and they know what it takes to make a change. When the fans are shifting towards Amorim out, and they are, whether it's 50-50 or it's beyond that, they are, it won't be long before the players go, hold on a minute, we're not taking the blame. We know what we need to do here. And I think when you look at that United side, I don't think a lot of them can play the way Amorim wants to play. Well, it's very obvious, isn't it? It's very, very obvious. And I do want to talk about the media. I thought there was a bit of a pile-on with Amorim yesterday, which is just the typical media of Manchester United, which we'll talk about in a moment. But let's stick with this. I think this is a significant issue. I think that the way that the players are performing on the pitch shows you that they are very, very, very low IQ players, which we've seen before. Rangnick came in, abandoned his plan after half an hour. Ten Hag abandoned his plan. And Amorim hasn't abandoned his plan, but may as well abandon his plan because he does not have a squad of players that can do anything with any level of intricacy. I mean, these are players that can't even keep possession. They can't even beat a low block. And that was before he came in. So I would suspect that there is a lot of frustration in that dressing room because their performances are poor, they're getting it in the neck again, and they will be looking for things to blame, and they will start to blame the system. They will start to blame the formation. They'll start to be like, well, if we played a back four, we'd be happier. And those sort of conversations will be going on. I don't think Bruno Fernandes is particularly happy in the midfield either. I don't think he is. I don't think that, I don't think Mbeumo looks completely comfortable as a number 10. I think he'd rather be out on the wing. I think there's a lot of players in that team that are unable to operate within this system. And it starts to get to that point now with the results and the games that we've got coming up. I don't think we're there yet, but I think that another bad result, another big pile-on, and I think you've lost. I think the players are gone. I think what we're getting now is players are starting to look at the situation and going, I'm not performing in this situation. The team's not performing. We're heading down a similar track. I'm out. And we've seen that before. That's why Ollie lost to Watford. That's why Ten Hag lost to West Ham. That's why Mourinho lost to Liverpool. Because it gets to a point where the players go, right, I'm out. Psychologically, I'm out. I don't need this shit. Obviously, it's my fault, but I'm not taking the blame. He can take the blame and we'll start again under another manager. And that is something that United fans cannot ignore because that's happened at this football club for years. And some of those players that have done that before have done it before, are still here. So I think it's all one thing saying, why are Ineos backing Amorim? Should I back Amorim? Should Amorim be sacked? All those conversations are relevant, but the only people that are really going to make the difference are the players, and they are really, really incapable of playing to the standard of football that we want at the moment. And I don't think that's about to change anytime. So I would very much monitor that. And I thought what Mazraoui said after the game probably reflects a lot in the dressing room. I think they're starting to get frustrated themselves. And they're not robots. I don't trust this squad. I don't trust this squad at all. But it would be a very unique situation if we had a set of players that didn't think I look shit in this system and I'm playing shit in this system and I don't want to play shit. You know, people want to go to work and be satisfied, and I think we're starting to see that frustration in the team now. Even on Thursday night, you know, Ahmad, I thought was okay, but watching it back, holding on to the ball for too long again. Definitely holding on to the ball. There was early passes into Mbermo that I think a month ago he was playing, and now he's not. I don't know whether that's people overthinking it. I don't know whether that's people starting to get frustrated, but I do think that we are starting to see that frustration.